Hi everybody and welcome to our very new and very exciting new project, which is the Timmy's Terrific Tome. And it really is going to be a terrific tome. This isn't it. I have two of these fabulous lapbooks on the go at the moment. This one is the Looky Likey paper, and it's a design from Let's Create Designs. Really lovely paper, but I just wanted to use it instead of the Timmy and just as a sort of mock-up as I go through, just in case I cut anything the wrong size or whatever, because I'd be heartbroken if I cut the proper Timmy paper to the wrong size and wasted it. It's not cheap, as you'll appreciate. So this is the pretend one. It's got papers all the way around there. I have used some beautiful fabric that Jen and Mike gifted me on the spines. It's just gorgeous. It's proper Timmy paper fabric, and it opens up like this, and then it opens up like this, and you'll see that we have managed to do one section of it. The other thing that I should tell you is the making of your lapbook that Mr. F did the other day. He cut his at 9 1/4, and I actually asked him to cut an inch off it, because I was thinking at 9 1/4 that's quite a lot of Timmy paper in one go, and I can't use my 8x8s if it's cut at 9 1/4. So this now measures 8 1/4 in height, which is great for the 8x8s. And then I put framers tape round the complete outside of the journal. So that's that one. This one is the proper Timmy one. Well, it's going to be. I haven't got anything in it yet. But for this I've used black framers. Well, it's not framers tape, it's construction tape. And if you're in the UK, I get mine from a company called My Creative Spirit. There we are, all W's, mycreativespirit.co.uk. You get 50 metres in a roll. You know, it's a big roll. But that's what it's intended for. The lady that sells it, she does a lot of stuff with Graphics 45 and Stamperia, that sort of thing. You know, making boxes and journals and what have you. And that is what it is intended for. So I've gone around the entire journal with the black construction tape. Then I've put my Timmy fabric on, which is gorgeous. Look at that butterfly. So that's going to be the overall sort of outer spine. And same thing, it opens up and then it opens up. And it's just gorgeous. It's already gorgeous. So today we're going to make a start on doing this section here, the same as the one that I did in the Timmy Looky Likey. Now with this one I used white card as the back, the sort of construction part of it, to stick the papers onto, but it took an awful lot of inking to get rid of that white card, I can tell you. So I've decided this time to use black card, which is why I've used the black construction tape. I'm going to have to leave that somewhere handy because I'm going to have to refer to it, I know. And the other thing is this, because I'm using black, you could use white equally, but like I say, you need to do quite a bit of inking. So I ordered this from Amazon. It's A3 black card. It's 170 GSM, so it's just in that, you know, is it paper, is it card? It's just in that sort of range. And I know in America you don't get A3, I think you get tabloid, in which case you might have to cut it down if you want to follow the measurements exactly. Or, you know, you can just see what you've got and make your own measurements. But anyway, here we go. So, first thing I want to do with this is score it at 6 inches, like that. Score down there. And at 12. Which is a really awkward one if you're left-handed. But we can do it. Right, there we are. So 2 score lines in. And then we just need 2, yeah, this way. Is it this way? There's going to be a lot of this. Is it that way? Is it that way? I think it's this way. And I want to score into the mountain. Like that, just make sure it's straight. You just pop that to the side a little bit. Just make sure it's straight on the edges. Like that, score that down. Now then, this we'll fold this in, but actually we're going to trim this down. Right, so let's just burnish those in, because they're there for keeps. There's a lot of sewing in my journal, but you don't have to do the sewing, you really don't. It's not essential at all. I just like the look of it. I think it looks lovely. So that's going to go there like that. This is going to flip like that, and that actually might want to fold that way. Let's just look again at what we've got. We've got it, so we might as well use it. I won't make this mistake again. Whenever I do one in the pretend one, I will do it straight away again for the Timmy one, because I'm just forgetting what I've done here. So this bit here is this bit here, and there's a flap here that goes under this bit that's stuck down. So I need to trim this down with my trimmer to about, I don't know, it's just going to be a flap, so about 1.5 inches, something like that. It's an arbitrary measurement. And keep hold of all your remnants, because they're bound to be useful. Right, so just to go through that again, this bit here is this bit, like that. We're going to have a piece of I might be lying here. No, that bit there is that bit there. Yeah, and that bit goes onto there. That's right. This is the flippy bit. Yeah, everything in the garden is so far rosy. Okay, so that's going to go onto there, like that. And then we need these pockets here. So they measure 2 3/4 inches, but there's a back and a front to them. So for my card that's going to hold them, I might as well use the little bits up. So I want them to measure 8 inches long by 2 3. One needs to measure 2 3/4 and the other needs to have a flap. I'll show you what I'm talking about, because it just sounds ludicrous the way I'm just going on with it. Ludicrous, I tell you. I need my big trimmer. Eight and 3/4. What did I say that for? It's 8, isn't it? It's 8 inches. Why have I turned to mush? Does anybody know? No, nobody knows. So 8 inches, and I need 2 of them because it's got a back and a front. And that one at 8 inches. And I'm just going to get rid of that nasty ratty little corner that I had there. So that's lovely. The rest I can do with my little Timmy trimmer, I think. So let's make a mark. Making a mark is easier. So let's make a mark there where the corners come, and I'll just tell you what that is in case you are working along with me. It is 2 7/8 actually, and I'm going to leave this bit on here. I'm going to score it, but I'm going to leave this bit on here to tuck into wherever it needs to tuck into here. So I'm going to score that. This is a very upside down video, isn't it? It's not like my normal way of going on. So right, I'm going to score that there, and that's going to be my flap for attaching the pockets. And then I need, because I don't need 2 flaps, I don't need that bulk of 2 flaps, I'm going to trim this one off just slightly less than that score line. So about there. Just less than whatever you've scored it at. This is the construction part. The fun part comes when we come to put the papers on, and it'll all make sense then. So that needs to get folded over like that and burnished down. And that's going to go there where that other flap is already. See that flap we had from there? So that's going to go there, and then this other piece, once we get it cut down, is going to get stuck on top of there like that. So let's trim this down. Keep all your remnants. Right. Whee. So that is going to go on there like that. But we'll attach the papers and everything. So they are the same, well, they should be, the same length, which they are. And this one here, the loose one, is just a little bit shorter than that flap there. So while we've got this flap here, let's just cut those corners off, because they tend to just get seen and they're not very nice. And let's cut them off on this one as well. Cat's making very strange noises. Right, so that's that. So let's really look at what we've got. We've got right, this one that goes there, and this flips up. This flips out on this, and this piece of paper goes in there. Right, so that's that flip. This flip with the pockets on goes in there, gets stuck to the reverse of the other flap, and that's going to have our little pockets on. Now the only other thing that we need is the little square flap on the front, this one, but that can go in later before we stick this on. But I might as well cut it out now, actually, to be honest. Let's get all the things cut out. So that measures 4.5 by 4.5. So let's just cut that piece out. Phew, this is complicated, guys. Complicated. Have I got a remnant? No, I haven't got one that's that size. I think it'll get easier as we go along, because as I say, I've left this too long between doing the pretend one and doing the real one. Oh, Mr. F was well off with his cutting this morning. So 4.5 cut that there. And I want to leave enough for a flap to flap over. So I'll cut this at, say, 6. We'll say 6. But I need to crease it at 4.5. Crease it, score it even, would be good. So let's just score that now at 4.5, and then we'll remember, hopefully, what it's about. So crease that at 4.5. There we go. So let's just have a little look and make sure we've got all the pieces. There's not that many pieces when you know, when all comes to all. It wants to crease that way. Right, okay, so let's just see what we've got here. They are remnants, and in fact they need to go in the remnant bin, otherwise they're just going to keep getting in my way. So I have a remnant bin going for the Timmy paper and a remnant bin going for the black. So I know where to look should I need anything. Right, okay, let's see what's occurring here. This is our side pocket. Let's look at the other one as we go, and then we'll see what we've got. So this bit here is this bit here, like that. It's going to have sewn on paper, blah blah, so that's going to go there. This bit here, oh, what's that? Oh, it's my front flip. This bit here is going like that, and that's, yeah, that's going to get stuck down onto there, and then this comes up, this comes up, and there's another piece of paper gets stuck on the back. That's the plan. That is the plan. It all seems fairly straightforward when you look at it that way, to be honest. So let's just pop this away to one side, let's say. Right, okay. So what I need to do, there's no direct sewing on the black. Everything else, all the stitching, etc., is done on the papers that are going to be stuck onto here. So the first thing to do is this pocket. This is kind of the, well, it looks like it's the back, but it's not because there's another flip. But let's do the pocket first. And I have cut out, I think I have cut out all the papers. Time alone will tell. But I think I have. And this here is the pocket. And I think I've gone round and inked everything just to save us that bit of time as well. So let's just have a look here. This is the back piece for the pocket, which is going to go there. Yeah, that's great. This is the sort of middle pocket, if you like. It's going to go there. And then this is the bottom pocket that's going to go there. Now, I want it to look like the one that I've already done. And you see it's got, if I take these out you'll see it more clearly, it's got this dip in the front. And I've done that with my envelope punch board. If you don't have an envelope punch board, you can still do it. Just draw around the tab of a file folder and then cut it out. It's what I did for years before I had an envelope punch board. So, having said that, though, I do have one, so I'm going to use it. So here it is, and this is what you do. Line it up with, oh, I think it was 2 1/4 I did it actually. 2 1/4, let's do that. Punch that, fold it completely over, line it up again with 2 1/4, punch that, and then you've got that bit there. Let me just show you what you do with that. Let's get a board out. In fact, let's do the other one while we're in the mood for envelope punching. So, what did I make that? 2 1/4, was it? I believe so. 2 1/4, honestly, turn me around twice. So that way, and then you turn it over completely and you do the 2 1/4 there as well. There we are. So that can go away. It's such a handy gadget. Leanne bought it for me and I'm so grateful. So then you get your scalpel or whatever you're comfortable with and a ruler, and you just line up the bottom, the dips of those things that you've just marked, and it's good if it's straight along the bottom too, and just cut it out, and there you have it. There's your little dip. It's so simple, isn't it? And yet it looks so effective. So same thing here, line it up with the bottom of your dips, and if you've cut your paper straight, it should be straight along the bottom, which it kind of is actually. Yay! So there we are. That's our 2 little dips for the pocket. Now I'm going to sew around them. And it's probably, well, I can stick them all together before I sew around them, but what I do need to do before I stick them together is sew across here. That's what's needed. Then I can stick them down, sew around the whole thing. So I'll pause you there for a sec while I just go and sew that. Right, so there we are. I've got those sewn around, and I'm just going to see how I want to arrange them. Kind of like that, I guess. Quite like that. And I will, you know, after I've done the construction, Bobby, I'll come back and decorate various bits. So I just need to just stick those on. I don't want too much glue on here because I'm going to sew it, and my machine doesn't like masses of glue. So just kind of tack them down, because it's too much to hold everything together just in your hand. You need to have them tacked down a little bit. There we are, that's great. And tack this one on all 3. So, well, probably all right, just on 2 sides actually. But I'm going to sew around it all, so this will be a pocket. Otherwise things will come flying out. Let's have a look. Get that right on the bottom. There we are. Lovely. So that's that. Let's trim some of those ends away before they get caught up in the sewing. And I'm going to zigzag around it. Why not? Why not? I've left some ends. I'm sewing in black. I've inked in black. Who is this person, you're asking? I don't know. I do not know. So that's going to go there when we're done. Right, so let's off again, just to zigzag was what I was trying to say before I left you, and that is indeed what I've done. I've zigzagged around the whole thing. So now we have a page of pockets. So I'm going to stick that on there like that, and that should be great. So I'm going to use my collal because it's quite a large area and I get on better with collal. Although I must say collal does not get on well with nail varnish. Because it's acetone based, of course, it wouldn't, would it? Because nail varnish remover is acetone. So basically what you're doing is using a nail varnish remover, which is a bit disappointing because I wanted to do my nails, but short of wearing gloves, I can't think what to do. So I think when you get it done, in fact I know, when you get it done at a nail salon, they use like a gel, I don't know, gel varnish stuff, and it's not susceptible to the glue. Right, let's just make sure we've got that on straight and we're happy with it. That bends That folds back. Yeah, that's great. I've just got a teensy tiny little bit of seepage, so I'll get my Timmy towel at work. Get it off now while you can. That's lovely, lovely. Right, so I don't need to ink this black because it's black, so that's a huge job that I've saved us. Right, so now onto this section, and that's this one here, which is the tummy tuck and the journaling card. Right, so somewhere in my pile of papers, that looks like a tummy tuck, doesn't it? That's got to be a tummy tuck. And there should be one that says back of tummy tuck. But I gave up writing on them halfway through, so they don't all say what they should say. Side pockets. Ah, under tummy tuck. Wow, fabulous. Okay, so it's already inked. It's going to go on there like that. This is the thing that I said to you, once you've got the construction done, the rest of it's pretty easy. It's just cutting out papers, sticking them on, and Bob's your uncle. So that's going to go like that. Excellent. So I'm off to the other thing that I did on this one was I put a tab actually on the tummy tuck itself, which I quite like because I'm planning on putting a dangle on there. So yeah, I need some craft paper. Surely I must have some craft paper somewhere. Well, I don't know where, so there's a piece of craft paper. And my tab punch. I'm just going to punch one out. Like that. It's quite thick, this craft, so it makes life a little difficult. Oh yeah, and the other thing we need is actually the journaling card. Now I'm a bit ahead of us here, in as much as I have got all my journaling cards here, and they are all backed, not sewn around, but backed. Those two look, no, they're not the same. There should be two that's the same for the back, which is those two. And that's not so this must be it. Yeah, that looks fine. So let's just quickly ink around here, glue that on, and then we can sew it all on together. Don't normally ink craft, but this project definitely is calling out for it. Oh, actually I wanted to use that side, it's a nicer colour. Typical. Right, so let's just fold that over into half, burnish it down. Hello, where's my burnishing tool? And I need to ink down there as well. Otherwise I look a bit strange. So yeah, the plan is that I'm going to dangle something off this. But in the interim, I'm just going to attach it to there. I'm just going to glue it on. I really like the look of that, actually. So I'll leave this bit to last to sew. Give the glue every chance to dry. Because my old sewing machine, the one that I've used for years and years and 100 million years, really has given up the ghost. It's very sad. I'm very sad about it. But there's something wrong with the socket where the pedal goes into the machine itself. And we've had to order parts for that in the past from Pfaff themselves, and it takes 100 years for things to get to us, and they're really expensive. So given that I have got alternate sewing machines to use, that's the plan. And so I'm just kind of feeling my way around this new one that I've got. Right, so this is going to be the page like that. So it's all inked, it's ready to go. So I'm going to sew around that. Now I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick the belly band Tommy took on first, and then I can sew around the whole kit and caboodle in one go. Oh no, I need to sew around here. Nearly. So I'm just going to sew around top and bottom of that, and then when I come to sew around the whole thing, I can catch that in. Be with you in a... Okay, so I've just sewn around there. Just chop my ends off. That one's sewn itself in, that's alright. Oh, I'll put some ends down here. I'm just gonna measure where halfway is, because you guys know me. I am rubbish. I'm so rubbish at it. So let's just do that. So this measures 5 7/8. So if I do that, just put a mark at 3 there, and the halfway mark on there is 1 inch. Inches there. Lovely. So I'm just going to put a bit of glue on there, see if I can match these. Match these lines up like that. Marvellous. That's perfect. And then, oh, hello, why did you not want to stick? Is there a reason? I mean, I must admit I haven't put very much glue on, but I did think I'd put enough for it to stick. Just give it a bit of helping hand, a bit of pressure. Rub that mark off. Okay, so if that goes straight up, that should be perfect there. So let's just put a little bit of glue on there. Let's just check that it looks okay. Oh, not sure it does. That's, yeah, no, it's not square. It needs to come to about there. So let's hope that the, ooh, she's kind of stuck. Yeah, it needs to come to there. Okay, well, I wasn't a million miles out, but and the art glitter had stuck remarkably well, as it always does when you don't want it to. Isn't that the case? It's just a little bit long, I think. That might be the problem. Right, that's great. I'm happy with that. That's straight. And I just need to trim off the very top of that Tommy Tuck. I don't know why it's too long, but it is just a smidge too long. Lovely. Right, so I'm now going to take myself off, and I'm going to sew all the way around there and all the way around there. Then we'll have another page done. Right, so I've done all that. I think we're all right. We've got some loose ends hanging around the place. My machine took a bit of a wobbler in the middle, but we're okay. It's okay. This is all glued down. Cut the ends off. Glued down. It's not glued at all. It's stitched. Right, I think that's all the ends. It kept stopping it. Well, I kept stopping and starting it because it wasn't quite right. Okay, so that's the journaling card as well. That's going to go in there. How nice does that look, especially when we get it all jazzed up. It's going to look wonderful. Okay, so let's stick that onto there. like that. That's perfect. Yes, it's going to be grand. Using the collall. I could have opted not to sew this, and it would have been a much better video series, I think, if I didn't, you know, if I wasn't sewing everything. But I wanted to. I think this Tim Holtz stuff paper lends itself to being sewn, you know, especially a kind of grungy zigzag in black. I like that. So I'm sorry for the kind of stoppy-starty nature of this, but it's all going to be worth it, guys. You'll see. By the same token, you could do this entire thing in a completely different genre altogether. So let's get that stuck exactly where we want it, which is there, I believe. Lovely. I've got a bit of glue. Right. So let's give that a couple of seconds to kind of tack up a little bit, and then we can apply some pressure. That's the best way of going on with that. So let's see what the next... So that's that page done and that page done. So on the back of those pages, this is what we've got. That's the bit that's stuck onto the book, so we needn't worry about that yet. But on the back of our flip flap, we've got this and we've got this. So let's think about that. Let's just press this down. It will be going to tack up now, so the glue won't squelch out. There we are, and I'll just pop that in there because that's where it's ultimately going to go. You can see it's bare bones. It's just construction at the minute, bare bones. So that will be like that. Yep. So let's fold that out and see what goes here. So on this page we have a side pocket, and when I find it I'll give you the measurements for it. It's here somewhere. I saw it this morning when I was inking. Here it is. Right, I've made that to go on that. Oh, it does go on that side. Stupid woman. Stupid woman. Yeah, it goes on that side, but it does have some paper behind it. So what have I cut to do? That doesn't say anything on it, so it could be that. That doesn't say anything on it, so it could be that. Under the side pocket, hooray! Do like it when I'm slightly organised. Makes life loads easier. Right, so it's not that one, so that can go away. So what I did was cut it out to the size of the black cardigan. Cardigan? No, cardigan. But I just need to check that there's nothing getting tucked inside there. No, that's just plain and simple. Plain as you like. I like those pages, the plain ones. So that just, it's been inked already. All I'm going to do now is, I'll give you some measurements, is, that looks like it's a bit longer than that. Yeah, it is just a smidgel. It's a smidgel longer. I don't want that. Let's just take a little bit off. I mean, I'm talking nothing here. That's what I was talking, but it was enough to catch the eye for all the wrong reasons. Right. Yeah, this is the side I'm using. So the paper itself measures 6 by 8. Back paper they all do. And this side pocket measures 3 inches. And I've taken a little thumb notch out of there. And it also has a journaling card that goes with it. Where have they all gone to? Okay, where are all the journaling cards? They're laughing at me somewhere. It's ludicrous. They were here a second ago because I was using them. Oh. Right, found them. They were on my desk, of course they were. So I need to sew down there first, then sew all of that together, round all of it, and I've backed that already, so I just need to sew round it, and that will then slide into there. That's the theory. That looks quite large to go in there, but I'm sure it does. So I'll see you back when I've sewn all of them. Okay, so I've got that stitching done, and by stitching it I've added this side pocket to it, so all that needs to happen now is that gets glued down. Yay! Fabulous. So let's just glue that in place, and we really are making progress. We really are. So I always like to try and get my glue into the stitches, because they are the part that are the least likely to stick down. I don't know what it is about them, but they're sometimes a bit reluctant to stick down. So I always put my glue right into them, give them no choice in the matter. There we go. Let's get this bit where it needs to go. Good thing about the collal, as I keep saying, but if you're new to this channel, the collal gives you just a little bit of time to, place your piece exactly where you want it, which is great. That's there. That is where I want it. That's fine. Right, so here's our flip. That's going under the back page. So it's going to be like this. So that flips out. We've yet to make that page. That flips out, and there's the pocket. Yeah, it's coming along. It's coming along. So the next thing that I'm going to do is this page. But before I do this page, I need to have done this so I can get it tucked under here when I glue it. So let's make this little flippy flappy thing next. So we've got our piece here, and we should have two pieces cut out that are the right size for it, hopefully. Well, not those two. That's a journaling card. What about these two? Yeah, these two. Brilliant. Oh, and there's a little pocket there that goes on it as well, this one. Right, so it's going to go like that, and this is going to be the front, and I quite want this to be the front, the thing that we see on the front. I really love that wallflower. I've inked, I have not inked all the way around it. I thought I had, but I haven't, so let's ink around those. I'm using Black Soot Distress Oxide. You could use any of the archivals or anything like that if you're worried about this, getting wet or anything. I'm not. I mean, I'm really not. Who realistically is going to take the junk journal in the bath with them or whatever? I don't know. Maybe some people will, but no, I think we'll be fine. Because the thing about distressing is that it is water reactive now and forever. So yeah, so that piece is going to go on there like that. Flip it over. Just check that's the right size. Yes, it is. Flip it over, and this piece is going to go there like that. And then we've got this little pocket that, as you can see on the other one, just goes there like that with a little tuck in. So I want to stitch around there, and then I can stitch that whole piece. This is the thing about this sort of flippy flap, is you've always got to be thinking a couple of steps ahead of yourself. So I'm literally just going to stitch along there and along there Wonder if I should round that corner. It might look better if it was rounded. I'm not a great fan of rounded corners, to be fair, but sometimes you have to concede that it will just look better. Let's just have a look. Yeah, here. Yeah, I think that's just going to look a bit more finished. Right, so I'm just going to go and sew around there. Right, that's great. That's that little bit done. And it's going to get stuck onto there. So let's do that sticking now. I just want to tack it rather more than stick it, to be honest. I don't want a lot of glue in my machine. It's probably sufficient. I don't know that we are definitely going to get this finished today. Let's just check that I've got that the right way. That looks good to me. So I'm just going to stick this to this bottom corner here. Right up into the corner, right along that bottom. Lovely. And then when I sew around it, I'll catch everything in together. Lovely. Let's trim those ends a bit. So I want to sew around all of that, which is going on there. And then on the front bit, the wallflower is going on there, so I need to sew around all of that, but separately. Because if you don't, this is the reason that I'm sewing everything separately. If you don't, you get that horrible, well, it's not horrible, but it's not as pretty. The stitching on the back is never as pretty as it is on the front. So I'd rather take my time and sew each piece separately before I stick it on, rather than have ugly stitching on the back. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I'll see you in a sec. Right, so I've sewn around those, and now all I have to do is stick them on. Just check that they... need to make sure that there's plenty room there. And I'm not entirely convinced there is. No. Let's just see what this one looks like on the other side. Right, that's okay, because I can make that meet. It's actually, it's going to be sticking out further than the black card, but like I say, I can make this one meet it there, so it'll look fine. So phew. So let's get this. It's the thing, you always have to allow for the clearance when you're actually folding a flip over. You don't want it butted right up to that crease, because it just won't work. Okay, so I want to put that there, but I want to make sure I've left enough for that crease to fold like that. So there you can see that it is actually, it's sticking out beyond the black. See that? But I'll put this piece on to meet up with it, so it's not the crisis that it could have been. Let's just make sure that's going to be okay. Yeah, it's going to be fine. Going to be fine. Not exactly what I planned, I'm a couple of mils out, but it'll be alright. There we go. So the critical thing is to get it lined up with this edge that's sticking out, I guess. That's the important bit. Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's fine. Good fit. Good fit. Yes, right. Stop praising yourself and get on with it. That's what I say. Okay, so where does this go? It flips this way. No, it flips. Flips that way. Should have gone under there. Okay. No, I think we're fine. I think that can go into there. I'm just going to trim these ends off just a little bit. And then we can sort out the paper that's going onto here, which is this piece, the very back piece. The bit that gets stuck on to the actual journal. Making progress. No, that can't be. So it's got something on the back. That's that there. This flips over, that flips over, this flips out. Yeah. Then on the back of this piece here, we've got this page here. Right, let's just not get carried away with ourselves. So I want this in the centre, but kind of, I also want to put an eyelet. Right, I think we're okay. We're okay, guys, we're okay. Let's get this in the centre. That's not attached to anything. Let's just see where the centre of this is, and that's 8, so let's just make a mark at 4 and a mark here at 4. Just draw a line along there, and then we know where the centre is. Yeah, I could have just put my ruler on at 4, couldn't I, and drawn a line along. That would have been too easy. So that's the centre, and let's find the centre of this, which measures, what does it measure? 4.5, so 2.25. Let's just do that. So we've got a line to match it up to. And then it will be central, so at least, you know, we'll be all right. So let's stick this in here first. So that's the way it needs to flip. I want the wallflower on the front because that's going to be the front, that's the inside of the pocket. So line this up and stick it on, but make sure that you've got it so it will go around the flap. So stick it on first, that's our first concern. I'll stick it on without glitter because I want something quite instant for this. Don't go too close to the bendy bit. The bendy bit. Right, so it's going to go, that's the line there, but quickly fold that over and make sure that that bends, that comes over there, like that. Lovely. It's about as good as we can get it, I think. Yeah, that's fine. That's great. Right, so that's the front bit done. So now we need to put the paper on here, and we've still got the other pockets to do. So I think the sensible thing to do would be to leave it here for today, and let me regather my senses if I have any left. Who knows? And we'll come back and we'll finish this page off. Okay, so thanks very much. I'm sorry it's been really scatterbrained, because you would have thought that having done it once it would be relatively easy to do it again. Let me tell you, my memory is not that good. And I think I did this about 2 or 3 days ago, and to be honest, I've just forgotten. Anyway, I will be back, and there'll be a much more ordered part 2 of this. So I look forward to seeing you then. I hope you can muddle your way through the instructions such as they are that I've given you, and we'll come back and finish it off. Okay, bye for now.